thought on the flow of this game and how it went?
Well, I thought our energy out of the gate, Kent, was outstanding again for the third straight game, and that's a great sign, is when you can come out and get off to fast starts, especially defensively. I think we're doing a great job with our hands, our aggressiveness early. We're creating turnovers and deflections, and that's getting us out. We did a better job of finishing today when we had opportunities. Obviously, in the Nevada game, the early runouts that we had, we just did not do a good enough job of finishing, and in a one-possession game, that ends up costing you in the end. But I thought we really guarded them down the stretch. Those last 10 minutes were phenomenal, and that's when we stretched it open and got the lead. I thought our movement was terrific to finish the game as well. I thought we really shared it, and Teddy hit some shots. Teddy got out in transition on a few of them. Dalano was phenomenal all game long. I love Trey McGowens' aggressiveness today. Lat got us off to another really good start. Unfortunately, he got into foul trouble, but it was great to see him bounce back and knock down those 3 threes pretty much right out of the chute. And we had good production off our bench. So, again, I thought for the guys, and I could see it. I could see how much it bothered them losing that last game the way we did. I saw great concentration in film in yesterday's walkthrough that we had this morning when they came in for another walkthrough and pregame meal. I could just see it, that they wanted to right the ship, and it was a great bounce-back game for us.
Yeah, Coach, I love the energy as well, and I think the only negative of this game was the offensive rebounding by North Dakota State. What can these guys do, and what can you guys do moving forward to really clean that up on the defensive side and clean up those reboundings?
Yeah, 100%. And their guards do a really good job. For us, I thought they were the ones that were creating first contact, and we got to go and make a physical cutout. We just don't have a lot of length out there right now in size. So, for us, we got to get into bodies before they can hit us, and I thought that was the biggest factor in that. But, they do a great job, coming out there and, getting second chance opportunities. But 22 offensive rebounds is way too many, and 24 second chance points. I'm thankful we guarded them well other than that, but we take away those points, and we have one of our better defensive performances in a long time. So, that is going to be a huge point of emphasis. It certainly has been for us, and we need to do better on the glass.
Tune into Sports Nightly tomorrow night, or Monday night, and here are our thoughts on this ball game and every weeknight for Husker Nation News and Insight. Sports Nightly is brought to you by our friends at NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down. More with Coach Hoiberg after this break. From Learfield IMG College, this is the Husker Sports Network.
Quick 30-second break and then they're back.
Hey, how do you say the kid? Is it Greasel or Grisel? How do you say it?
Okay, so we have 2 more of these to read, right?
Okay.
Back with Coach Hoiberg. What you were talking about after Nebraska 79-57 victory over North Dakota State, you're talking about inside, to what degree do you feel like when you get Derek Walker and Eduardo back that some of these things will resolve themselves?
Well, that'll help. The one thing, that I was really pleased with, this is one of the better defensive teams in the country, and they do a great job they got a winning culture, and, the team that won their league a year ago, I just love the kid, Sam Greasel, Lincoln East kid that just, plays so hard and plays the right way. He really attacks the baseline. In a short turnaround, we talked about mental preparation being such an important thing, and I thought our guys went out and executed the game plan phenomenally. They do a great job of driving the baseline and probing, and that's where they get slashing coming from the weak side. And when they get to the basket, that's when they get their own miss and get their those second chance opportunities. But, again, the intensity out of the chute for the third straight game was exactly where it needed to be, and we're going to have to continue that the rest of the way.
I thought your guards did a really good job too, Coach, defending the perimeter. You talk about North Dakota State cutting and really probing, but I think the length at our guard position. What do you think our better defenders are? What they do well here today to really muck things up for North Dakota State?
Well, we guarded the ball, and these guys have very good penetrators. You look at Tyree Edey; he's a heck of a player, and I thought Trey did a really, really good job of staying in front and The one thing we didn't do well was keep him off the glass. You look at Griesel and Edey, they had 9 of their offensive rebounds in the guard position. So, stayed in front of them, but, once again, you got to finish off the possession. We're going to have to do a better job of that if we want to have success this year.
Nice comeback, Coach. Thanks much. Congratulations. Huskers win this one 79-57 over North Dakota State.
Thanks, guys.
Huskers, you guys ready? Okay. We're live. Here we go. Coach. Okay, we'll start the press conference. I'll start with Chris Bassnett.
Hey, Coach, just want to start with defense. You mentioned on the radio just guarding the ball so well today. What did you see from your guys on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I thought we were really good. We had that 10-minute stretch at the end of the first half, really 9-minute stretch where they scored the majority of their points. I thought we took the foot off the gas a little bit. I thought we got a little extended. They got into the paint 16 times in the last 9 minutes as opposed to 4 the first 11 minutes. And just the activity level out of the gate was exactly where it needed to be again. We have to continue that. We have to continue to get off to great starts. Generally, how you start the game is how you finish. And, the way that we converted those turnovers obviously was so much better than it was against Nevada the other day. And in a low possession game, one possession game, those matter. And, maybe it doesn't get to that last shot if we finish a couple of those plays early in the game. But I thought our defensive energy was off the charts. I thought it started with Trey. I thought he did a great job on Edey. He's a hell of a player. And to limit him the way he did. Dalano, Thor did a great job staying in front. Griesel's he's a big, strong 6'6" point guard, and that's different for our guys. But they want to drive, they want to probe, and in a short turnaround like we had, the mental preparation is such a key to going out there and playing the right way, and that's what our guys did. They had great preparation in a short amount of time, third game in 4 days, and I thought we played with great energy pretty much all the way through.
Robin Washut.
A lot of different scenarios and adversity. What are some of the main things you've learned about your team that maybe you didn't know or wanted to know going into the year? And what types of things are maybe concerns going forward?
Well, the thing that I talked to him about it after the game against Nevada is the way that our guys care, the way that they compete. I knew we would bounce back with great effort. Now, the thing about this game, especially early, is the ball went through the hoop. That didn't happen against Nevada. We talked a lot about movement. We talked a lot about shot selection. We had one little stretch where it wasn't great, but for the majority of this game, I thought we made the right play out there on the floor, and we played for each other. And you could just see it. You see how much it bothered them in that locker room after the loss to Nevada. So I did sense a good bounce-back game for us, and I was happy to see us come out with the energy early, and then the way we finished off those last 7 or 8 minutes shows, I think, what we're capable of.
Michael Brunst.
Hey, Fred, after Trey went scoreless the other night, did you do anything offensively to kind of get him going in this one, or how did you kind of see him, bounce back from that game?
Yeah, well, we ran something for Trey out of the gate, and I got him going. He had the 2 quick layups right away, and once you see that ball go through the hoop, that automatically gets your confidence going. I thought one of the key plays of the game was when Trey stepped up without hesitation and knocked down a 3 when they had cut it to 10. Pushed it back up to 13, and I think we scored the next possession to get it back up to 15. So I love Trey's pace. I thought he really pushed the ball down the floor. He had 1 turnover, I thought, where he tried to attack numbers. But overall, I thought Trey had a phenomenal game, both on offense and defense.
Sam McEwen.
Hey, Fred, I'll give you a chance to brag on Doc here a little bit. Did you think you'd have 39 steals in 3 games? I know that the opponents aren't as good as what you're going to face in the Big Ten, but nevertheless, did you think you'd be that successful in taking away the ball?
We've been really active. You're right. I won't give Doc credit for that. I'm going to take it. Doc's one of the best in the business. And you talk about, I thought when we were shrunk in our gaps, that's when we got a lot of those deflections. And as you know, with Doc's teams, it's all about trying to keep the ball out of the paint. We did a great job early in the one stretch where we gave up, again, the majority of the points in those last 9 minutes of the half. That's when we got extended. When we are in our gaps and we keep the ball out of the paint, we really give them one option. When they get in the paint, they can get to the rim, they can spray out to shooters. So when we keep it tight, we're a pretty darn effective team. And the other thing we have is length this year. You got length across the board. You got guys that, are out there battling and talking. I love what this group is all about. I really like the makeup, and that's why we're gonna have a chance this season.
Did you anticipate Teddy being as anticipatory as he is as a defensive player? I think he's got 13 steals in 3 games.
Yeah, for the most part, yes. At times he gets a little, overzealous out there and tries to get out and top and gamble. That's another thing. Against really good teams, the gambles are going to make it pay. So, as long as we stay in there and do the right thing, you can live with some of that with getting out and being aggressive. But we talked about that. When that ball's going and the dribble's happening, if we stay tight, we want to attack the ball. And again, we've got players with good instincts. It starts with, you look at what Trey McGowens did. I mean, he led the league in steals in the ACC. Incredible hands, anticipation. But yeah, Teddy's been good for the most part. Again, when he stays within the game plan.
We got time for 2 more questions. I'll go Caleb Henry.
Coach, Ivan got his first field goal that was not a dunk today. Is finishing inside a concern in the early part of this season?
I'll say this. Ivan, when you see him in practice, he's been finishing the ball much better this year than he has last. It just has not carried over, unfortunately, to the game to this point. He at times will try to force it through bodies, and he's got to kick those out. We talked about that at halftime. That was a big thing. And when he got offensive rebound, if you've got 2 guys or 3 guys surrounding you, you got to kick that out. That's a great time to get an open 3 or get a long closeout where we can attack. But he's stronger, he's bouncier. I'm confident he'll be a better finisher as we go on. Just game action, different opponent. He's struggling with that right now. But second half, I thought he did a good job. He got the offensive rebound. I think he had 5 of them. But if he doesn't have a direct lane and an angle of the basket, he's got to kick that out and continue the possession. But Ivan, I thought, gave us some good minutes today with his physicality. But again, finishing is something he's got to get better at.
Last question for Coach Chris Bassnett.
Coach, what did you see from Ladd today? Hit the 3 early threes and then went to the bench. Looked like he wasn't really feeling good and had some foul trouble, but came back in the second half. I guess, what did you just see out of him, overall?
Yeah, it was great to see Ladd bounce back. He got in the gym. He was in the gym 2 hours before practice yesterday, shooting, just working on it. He was, I think, a little bit upset with himself. I think he turned down a couple against Nevada, including a late one where we were trying to get a 2-for-1 at the end of that Nevada game. But, Lat, listen, nobody spends more time in the gym than Lat. You can see it with his stroke. So to see him knock down those first couple, and I think started 3 for 3, and he did. He pounded an energy drink right before the game, and it wasn't sitting well in his stomach, and that's what happened when he tossed that up. But, he got back out there, and, again, Lat, you see Lat shooting stroke, but what you don't see a lot of times, he does so many little things out there on the floor and covers for us. He's always in a stance. He's got good length. You can switch him off onto a guard. We're asking him to guard a 5 right now, just with limited bodies. So I've been really, really impressed with Lat early on in this process. He's going to be a very good player for us.
I'll finish with Coach. We'll have Trey McGowens here shortly.
Thank you.
We're back with Trey McGowens. I'll start with Sam McEwen this time.
Hey Trey, your coach was very praiseworthy of not only your defense but your whole team's defense today. How did you guys kind of use your defense to get your offense going? And what did you guys see from North Dakota State that you were able to kind of successfully slow them down?
Well, I mean, all season, going into the season, we knew we were real versatile and we would be able to use our length on the defensive end. So, I mean, North Dakota State, they're a great team. They got a lot of good pieces. They definitely out-rebounded us, so that's definitely something we got to work on. But, I mean, just being in the passing lanes and ball pressure, that's something that coach preaches, especially how athletic we are. And just the length we have. And, even though our offense didn't go well, especially like yesterday against Nevada. Defensively, we were good. Like he said, we should have made a couple more shots. Or going back on film, it was a couple key possessions we should have locked in and been better. But, I mean, I think we're learning and definitely getting better.
Robin Washut.
In the game, like you did against Nevada, you had 19 today. Kind of what was your individual approach over the last 48 hours, coming off that Nevada game and then responding the way you did today?
I mean, the Nevada game, I try not to sulk, honestly. I know the foul trouble hurt me the first 2 games, so my biggest thing this game was no first half fouls, so that the second half I can play free. So going forward, that's definitely going to be a big thing going forward, so I can play as hard as I want in the second half and try to get up into the offensive players, try to force turnovers, and just knowing that my teammates have my back. That's pretty much the biggest key that makes me such a good defender. I know my teammates have my back, just like I have theirs.
Jacob Padilla.
North Dakota State was kind of hanging around in that second half there, and then you and Teddy kind of took over and blew that game wide open. How were you guys able to kind of really get you guys going there in that second half?
Really, I think it was just a lot of movement, and then we tried to key in on stops and rebounds. I mean, they had 26 offensive rebounds, so that's way too many. But I feel like when it was time to really lock in, we did. We really locked in on the defensive end, and we understand that the offense is going to come because we have scores. So yesterday, obviously, wasn't one of our best nights scoring, and hopefully it's one of the worst nights. We won't have a night like that again. So just defense is going to keep us in ball games, and then offense is going to win it for us.
And you guys are going to rely on a lot of gang rebounding this season, kind of with the way your roster's made up. What do you think of, like, what was kind of the problem there rebounding?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you guys are going to rely on a lot of kind of gang rebounding this year with your roster. Kind of what did you think that the effort was there consistently for guys kind of crashing from the perimeter and everybody getting involved on the glass?
The first half, I feel like we were doing a lot of watching, as well as myself. So the second half, we tried to make adjustments to attack the ball. I know Dalano, I think he had like 1 rebound as well as me. So after the first half, so the second half, it was just the main focus was just rebounding, so that we can get out and run. Because I mean, I think in the locker room, coach said they had 24 second chance points out of 57. So I mean, if we try to limit that, I mean they shot 29% from the field. So if we try to limit the second chance points, I think we'll be fine.
Chris Bassett.
Hey, Trey, what did you guys kind of say to each other after the Nevada game to kind of turn the page and get ready for this one? It seems like you were able to bounce back pretty well, especially at the start.
Yeah, that's actually a thing that I love about this team. I mean, we understand that we're a good team, and I mean, a lot of people might not believe us. But I mean, we believe in each other, and as well as that, I mean, we didn't suck on it. I mean, we had one of those nights. Well, we just couldn't really buy a bucket. So, I mean, we should have made up for it on the defensive end, but we understand that it wasn't effort. So, if it was effort, then I mean, it could have been some things we could have said in the locker room, but it wasn't effort. So, as long as it's not effort, then I think it's stuff that's fixable.
Okay, that'll end our thing with Trey. We'll come back with Dalano here shortly.
All right.
Mike. Okay, we are back with Dalano Banton. I will start with Robin Washington.
Nevada game. I know Trey said that he really liked the way that the focus kind of came together over the last couple of days. Guys weren't sulking and feeling bad for themselves. Did you see the same thing? This is the way the guys kind of took that loss and applied it for today?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. That was the fuel to this fire, man. We know that after a L, the bounce back is where it's got to be. We can't hang our heads on it. And we all know, down from me to everyone down in that locker room, we know that our next important game is going to be the next game. Every time, whether we win or lose. So just not to hang our heads on the past, whether if it's win, loss, we know that our next important game, we got to do whatever we got to do and just come up with the victory. And if we leave it all on the floor, regardless, we'll be happy with the outcome.
Chris Bassnett.
Hey, Dalano, how much have you guys kind of, embraced the defensive side of the ball, especially early in this part of the season? You guys were really able to slow down North Dakota State today, especially in the second half.
Man, defense is what coach iterates to us or tells us to use most of our energy on because, we got to get stops, and we know if we get stops and rebound that ball, we're going to run, and it's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have trouble keeping up with us. So, man, just defense is gonna be the reason we win a lot of games. We know we could use our length and get into those gaps, and when they try and turn around, go double. We have all our defensive movement on point right now, man. So defense is gonna be definitely the key to a lot of our victories, and it's gonna be the key to a lot of our losses. If we're not locked in on defense, then it's gonna hurt us a lot, and we know that. And just we got to do better rebounding, and we're gonna get better at that going forward.
Sam McEwen.
When you left the game, Dalano, did you know how close you were to a triple-double?
Oh yeah, my teammates told me, but we wanna play like that so that we could get everybody into the game, man. We're all grinding every day in practice. We've been here since summer, so I don't care. I don't care if I get that triple double or not. We had all our guys in. Everybody had a chance to have fun and play out there and show for their families, and that's what it's all about, man. We're all having fun and it's great. It feels good to be out here with these guys. Love these guys, man. It's great.
Jacob Padilla.
You got 3 games in the books now. What have you learned about yourselves now that you've got a chance to play against 3 different teams besides yourself?
I learned that we're gonna need everything from everyone in order to be able to be a successful team. It goes deeper than just me. We're gonna need all 10, 12, however many guys are on this roster, and I noticed that we need everyone, man. It's the way the game's played. It's a hard-fought game every time out through all 3 games we played so far, And last game, just to go back on last game for a little bit, just being able to move the ball and do what we need to do. I know that I gotta pick that up for us and be able to move the ball and cut and start. That starts with me, and it just trickles down to everybody else. But I know that we need everybody to win and everybody to be successful, and it's deeper than just me or what I know about myself, man. I love these guys, and we're going to continue to play for each other and play together and hopefully, keep coming up with more wins and stay focused.
Michael Brunst.
Dalano, you kind of had 3 different games offensively as a team during this stretch. How'd you feel like you guys were able to kind of move the ball, I guess, for the whole tournament and just kind of play within the offense? I mean, how would you kind of rate your guys' performance in doing that?
Man, our ball movement is nothing like I've ever seen. I'll give us a 10. We had a lapse last game where we didn't have the ball moving, but that's just a learning experience. We took it. We've moved on from that. So we're focused on this game. We moved the ball. How much assists do we have today? We had 15 assists. So man, if the ball movement is lovely, everyone's happy, man. So we got to get everyone involved in order to be successful, so everybody could be happy. And man, it's great. Love playing with these guys. Just to keep saying it, man, it's crazy. The feeling out there is unmatched.
Any questions from our media? Okay. Thank you, Dalano. We are done with today's press conference.
Thank you.